In just a few days, the scene behind us and other parts of the Disneyland Resort are going to be transformed for the Halloween season. The party starts on September 1st, and in this video, we're going to get you ready for the Halloween season here at Disneyland. September 1st marks the beginning of the best 4 months at the Disneyland Resort, September through the holidays into December, and it all begins here on Town Square and Main Street with some wonderful decorations that you're going to be seeing very, very soon. By the time you guys watch this video, there'll probably be more of them out here. The most notable of which would be the giant Mickey pumpkin here at the top of Town Square. This is obviously a very popular spot to get pictures taken. It can get a little bit competitive. In most cases, you'll find the queue stretching all the way around the top of Town Square or the bottom of Town Square, depending on how you see it, and into the flagpole area. But worry not, even if it does, it actually goes really quick. You needn't worry too much about spending a lot of time here. Even if it's into this section here, into the flagpole, you can expect to wait on the top side of about 20 minutes. It looks scary, but it's not as bad as it seems, especially if they're taking photos on both sides of the pumpkin, which is often the case. We'll make our way down Main Street, and at the top of Main Street is Sleeping Beauty Castle, and that is typically where you will find the Halloween Screams fireworks show at 9:30 p.m. This year, they are not having the fireworks show every night. Those shows will be on the weekends only, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then also the first Monday of the season, which is, I think, September 4th. But otherwise, weekdays are projections only. The best views, of course, are out there right in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle, between the hub and the castle. That way you get the view of the Jack Skellington balloon and all the other things that are flying over the castle on a yearly basis. Those, of course, are hard to come by. You've got to wait a little while. You've got to camp out for a couple hours before the show begins if you want to get one of those seats. Otherwise, you're back here behind the hub, and you're going to be obscured slightly by trees on the left and right sides of the hub. The trees on the left are particularly annoying because they'll block your view of the Jack Skellington pumpkin. But personally, I don't mind that very much. I don't mind seeing the show from the top, from Main Street or all the way down the Main. Once you're on Main Street, it doesn't really matter how far back you go. It's pretty much the same show throughout. Plus, you do get the projections on the side of the buildings on Main Street. So it's an excellent second option. If, though, it is a priority for you that you get one of those premium spots out there in front of the hub with a great view of the show, but you don't want to wait out there in the heat for a couple hours and waste all that time in the park, there are Plaza Inn dining packages available for the Halloween Screams fireworks show, $60 per adult. They're available on Fridays and Sundays. We mentioned Halloween decorations all up and down Main Street, Town Square, etc. Frontierland is also one of the other locations where you can find some fun, festive Halloween decorations, like right here at the Pioneer Mercantile. And then you can also find some, obviously, at Haunted Mansion Holiday, which we'll be getting to again in just a minute. Also right here in Frontierland, this tree that we're looking at will be transformed into the Halloween tree, a Ray Bradbury inspired Halloween tree. It is every year a delight for me and Liz to come see this tree and revel in the beauty and wonder of it. Pumpkins hanging from the tree, bright orange lights. It's pretty spectacular. Also transforming will be Zocalo Park, currently a meet and greet for Mirabel from Encanto, but this will be turned into a Dia de los Muertos exhibit. They'll have an ofrenda over here, some mariachi calacas. They're wonderful looking, very artistic, very beautiful, looks great at night, as do a lot of things that we're going to see here for the Halloween season. We'll head on down to New Orleans Square next, where a lot of you are going to be looking for a chance to meet Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. They meet every year here in New Orleans Square. It's hard to say for sure when and where they meet. They have met in different places at different times throughout the years. Traditionally, of late, they meet in between the two stores, Pieces of Eight and Port Royale Curios, in that little middle section there. Check your calendar, though. Check the Disneyland app for times on when you might find them. That is going to be a very competitive meet on a regular basis. If it's important to you, don't wait for an opportune time. There really are no shortcuts to meeting Jack and Sally. You're gonna have to wait in one of those lines at some point. And of course, you can find Jack and Sally here at the Haunted Mansion for the Haunted Mansion Holiday, the annual reskin of the Haunted Mansion with the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. This is a very popular attraction. It will be especially popular the first month or so of the Halloween season, starting September 1st and into October. This is an option where you might want to consider rope dropping it, even though it is competitive right from the start. Again, especially early on in the season, you get all the locals who are very eager to see it. So they're going to be here first thing in the morning, at the outset. But it is, if this is a priority for you, rope drop might be a best alternative. It stays busy throughout the day and into the evening. You can still expect an hour or more, into late afternoons and early evenings. So all in, it was 1 hour. That's queue and ride time included. And when I came out, look what was waiting for me. That's the lightning lane queue. Oh my God. Okay, that's the back of the line, right? Halfway up the hill, all the way up the hill, really, of Splash Mountain. That's incredible for this time of night, for 11 o'clock. Wow. And yet we still got in an hour. How is that possible? Tomorrowland. There will be a Disney Villains dance party on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. A DJ, music, dancing, fun for the kids. It's a good time. While we're in Tomorrowland, let me update you that Space Mountain will not be open for the majority of the Halloween season. Space Mountain closes on September 15th, 2 weeks into the season, and will be closed for the duration, the rest of it, until probably early November. They're saying a month and a half refurb for Space Mountain, which puts it about the 1st of November. So no Ghost Galaxy, no Space Mountain for the Halloween season this year. Back on Main Street as we get ready to head over to DCA, where the other half of the Halloween season is happening at the Disney Resort. I know we're going up Main Street rather than down it if we're going to DCA, but I don't mind telling you, it is as hot as the sun right now at Disneyland, and there is a burning wall of fire on the other side of the frame. So I'm trying to stay out of that if I can. Anyway, I'm here on Main Street to tell you about the Foodie Guide, the Halloween season Foodie Guide. See, there it is. You guys see that? The Foodie Guide this year for the Halloween season looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to trying so much of it. And you can find this Halloween food throughout the park. There's decorations only in certain parts, but every place, everywhere has Halloween themed food. Check the Disneyland Foodie Guide to find out your favorites and where to find them. Be advised that a lot of it is going to be available prior to September 1st. My understanding is you're going to see food out here as soon as August 29th. You can find Halloween themed food here on Main Street and every dining location throughout the park. By the way, as we do head out now and go into DCA, let me mention no Halloween parade here at Disneyland. DCA gets the Halloween parade, and that's just for Oogie Boogie Bash. We do get the fireworks though, but no Halloween parade. Just magic happens as it usually runs, 3:30 and 6:30 p.m. daily. Crossing the Esplanade from Disneyland to DCA, I want to stop here and talk for a minute before we head into the California Adventure about Oogie Boogie Bash. And that's going to be happening here only at California Adventure. I'm mentioning it here because a conversation should be had about what the effects are of Oogie Boogie on the crowds at Disneyland. People are going to wonder, is the exodus that is required you have to leave DCA at 6 p.m. Does that affect crowds at Disneyland? The answer is yes and no. There will be an effect. You will feel and notice something happening at around 6 p.m. If you're anywhere around Town Square or Main Street, you are going to see an influx of guests, people crossing over at 6 p.m. But once that passes, after about 30, 40 minutes, once that passes, there actually isn't much difference between the before and after at Disneyland. So there is an effect initially. It's going to feel crazy. But after that, it goes away. So really not a lot of impact from Oogie Boogie on the crowds at Disneyland. Now, I love the Halloween season at Disneyland, specifically Disneyland. But man, they party here at DCA in a way that they simply cannot at Disneyland proper. Halloween at DCA has become a revelation of sorts. Ever since they decided to put Oogie Boogie Bash here, instead of having the Mickey's Halloween party at Disneyland, it has changed, it has transformed. This park has become the home of Halloween. They can be more irreverent here, they can be edgier, scarier, they can do a lot of things here at DCA that they cannot do at Disneyland. And it's why I love being able to, I love Disneyland Halloween, but DCA is pretty amazing. Before we even get into the rest of the park, you've got the lights here at Carthay Circle. They are beautiful at night. You've got the Headless Horseman here by the Storyteller statue. That, as soon as they brought that thing out, that immediately became one of my favorite features, one of my favorite elements of Halloween here at DCA. It looks fantastic. Stay around, stick around long enough, and you'll see and hear the proper effect with the, you know, the smoke coming out of the horse's nostrils, etc. It's wonderful. But let's get into it. Let's get into the rest of the park. We're looking right now at Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. But during the Halloween season, starting September 1st, this attraction gets a reskin. It transforms, but only after 6 p.m. It stays Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, then at 6 p.m. everybody's got to get out, and it transforms into Monsters After Dark, where monsters get loose inside Mission Breakout. You get new graphics or new scenes inside the attraction and new music. And if you're lucky, the cast even get into it on the ground inside the attraction. The premise is that there are scary monsters loose inside the show building. I gotta correct myself, it actually starts at 3 p.m. The transformation for Monsters After Dark starts at 3 p.m. It's at 6 p.m. that they kick you out of here if it's an Oogie Boogie Bash night. On those nights, they kick you out of here at 6 p.m. So you have only a few hours to enjoy the show if you're not going to Oogie Boogie. If you are an Oogie Boogie Bash attendee, you can ride this thing all night. Next door at Cars Land, we've got 2 more attractions that get reskins: Mater's Junkyard Jamboree and Luigi's Rollicking Roadsters. Both get decorations outside of the attraction, in the queue, etc., and new music. Mater's is especially wonderful. The nighttime effects on Mater's is terrific. It makes me want to ride it even more. I love Mater's. I don't need a reason to go on Mater's, but that is a reason if one is needed. Meanwhile, Cozy Cones gets a makeover. The whole land gets a makeover, gets a whole Halloween makeover, which is really fun to look at. A lot of those decorations, those Halloween decorations, are here already as I record this. They're about, I'd say, maybe 3/4 done here at Cars Land on Route 66. Transitioning from the backside of Cars Land into San Francisco, or what will be San Francisco by the time the Halloween season. And I don't believe that there's anything Halloween specific planned for San Francisco, but I do want to say that it's going to be open. It opens, or actually it officially begins August 31st, does all this, including the Baymax meet and greet over here and the new food at Pacific Wharf or Aunt Casa's Cafe. This will be open the day before the Halloween season starts on August 31st. And the next day, obviously, September 1st. So it'll be here for you if you're here for the Halloween season. Where you've got the Dia de los Muertos exhibit in Frontierland at Disneyland, here at Paradise Garden, we've got the Plaza de la Familia, a Coco-inspired, Coco-themed exhibit celebrating the same season, the same holiday. Arts and crafts, a meet and greet with Miguel, and of course a musical celebration of the music of Coco, all found here at Paradise Garden. Gonna take a walk through Redwood Creek Challenge here. Talk about Oogie Boogie Bash. You thought I wouldn't? Of course I am. I'm talking about Oogie Boogie Bash. We have a cool Halloween party here every year that replaced the Halloween party that existed over at Disneyland, the Mickey's Halloween party. I'm here because this is my favorite part of Oogie Boogie Bash, Villains Grove. I highly recommend you guys checking it out. I've been a fan of that since the first year they put it out, and it's the coolest thing they do here. It's very lo-fi, it's easy to produce, but it has just a really neat effect to it. I really dig it. I love lighting effects and things like that. And I bring that up because when it comes to Oogie Boogie, there's a few tips that I can share. I've been to many of these, obviously. I've been to every single one every year, a couple times a year usually. A couple of things that I would say. First, the show doesn't start, the party doesn't really start until 8 p.m. That's about when it gets dark. It doesn't start until it gets dark. You can't do anything that's party related when it's still sunny out, even though you're allowed in. So if you get here at like 6 p.m., which you can, I highly recommend you use that time, the time from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. or whenever it gets dark, that's when you want to eat. Get your food, get your drinks, get the party food, get the party drinks, but try to do as much of that as you can before it gets dark. And then I recommend, rope dropping, as it were, this Villains Grove. I recommend doing this first. It stays busy throughout the night. There's really no slow periods. I mean, everything slows down as the night wears on a little bit. But you have to do something first. You know what I mean? You gotta do something first. So for me, I like to do Villains Grove first, and then I start hitting everything else after that. But no matter what you're doing after, let's say, 8:30, 9 o'clock, the park is wide open. The park is wide open, so it's easy to do rides, it's easy to go on treat trails, it's easy to meet characters-ish. So there really is no advantage to doing one before the other. Meaning it's not better for you to, you know, let's say, hit the treat trails first thing. As a matter of fact, that's the last thing I would do. Treat trails are the last thing we do, because those queues can get really long at the beginning of the show. Whereas the ride queues tend to be a little bit shorter, so maybe if you want to do that, I guess. But I would try to set those things aside as much as possible. Other thing that I recommend is don't go out of your way to see the parade. Don't get me wrong. See the parade. The parade is awesome. I love the Halloween parade. But you don't have to, you know, break your back trying to. You don't have to wait. You don't have to camp out on the curb. You can roll up just prior to showtime, especially if you're seeing the second show. This is something we do every single year. We wait till the second show, and then we roll up 5 minutes before the Headless Horseman arrives, and you're just right there on the curb. Somewhere along the parade route, you will find a spot without having to wait. Don't camp for an hour. Don't don't even waste 10 minutes for the parade, because the park is not busy enough to warrant that. So, you know, and you want to, you know, time is precious. You got basically 3 good hours to see everything that is Oogie Boogie Bash. So those are my 2 primary recommendations: is eat early, eat while the sun is out, and then don't go out of your way to see the parade. And, you know, if you can, try to rope drop Villains Grove. Look, they're ready, man. The white roses are out. This is the Alice in Wonderland, you know, the Queen of Hearts situation, whatever, you know, scene where the roses turn from red to white. Candles are also up at the very beginning of the trail for the Hunchback of Notre Dame scene. This is a great opener, a great mood setter as you start your Villains Grove experience. And a great finish here in the woods, the dark forest, if you will. I don't know if you can see those, but there's some like Christmas lights strung up on these trees, and they do a magnificent lighting effect here. It just gives me the chills every single time I come down here. I'll sit on this trail for 5-10 minutes sometimes just to watch the lights change. I love it. A couple more last items. Downtown Disney, Pluto is getting into the Halloween spirit with Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit. It's kind of like the Easter egg hunt that they do every year. It's just like that, except it's pumpkins for Pluto. And you can find pumpkins scattered throughout downtown Disney. You get a map, you look for them, turn it in, get a prize. That's always fun. And then at the Disneyland Hotel at Goofy's Kitchen, this is a first. I don't recall them ever doing this before. There's going to be Halloween costumed characters at Goofy's Kitchen for breakfast, brunch, and dinner. Check the Disneyland website for reservation possibilities. I mean, you can do walk-in, you can do standby, but I think it's probably a good idea, if you can, to make a reservation just in case. I'm not sure how popular, how competitive these things will be, you know, because this is the first time. Locals love new things here at Disneyland, so be prepared, you know. And that, you guys, is our preview of the 2023 Halloween season, our strategy guide, if you will. I hope you guys are able to make it this year. I'm expecting to have a really good time. Stay tuned, obviously, to Fresh Baked, because not only do we have a preview for you, but we're also going to be here for the whole season. And so we're going to have complete and utter total coverage of everything that's going to happen, starting at Rope Drop, probably on Friday for Haunted Mansion Holiday, the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. Will be there first thing in the morning for that, and then back again in the evening to sample the entire party, see the fireworks show, see the parade. Actually, there will be no parade. See the fireworks show and check things out here at California Adventure as well. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoy, and hope you guys watch, subscribe to our channel to make sure you are updated and turn on those notifications. And then follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney. And if you like our show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.
forgot to tell you, the scare tree's still broken, so it's gonna be a rough ride. Remember, if you see a scary creature, scream real loud and look delicious.
Oh, God.